Hello there, folks. Welcome to my stream setting as, we talk about Season 2 of what's gone on in the Great Yarmouth Save. Now, we've got an interesting scenario here. Hopefully you've seen Season 1 in the preview and you know what's going on with this. And if you've got a keen eye, you'll notice that we finished 5th in the Southwest Peninsula League Premier East. For some reason, we were changed in terms of division that we were in. We were moved to be in sort of a division which I think is towards like sort of Dorset, Cornwall area, down in the Southwest, but it's also got teams from Sheffield and London and Birmingham and the Midlands. It's everywhere, basically. And we're just a part of that. I don't know what division we'll be in next season, but you'll notice then we finished 5th, which on the surface, when you go into a new division, doesn't look too bad until you dig a little deeper. And those that have watched the final few streams on this, especially the final stream on this, we'll talk about that as we go through. I'm going to address something straight away. You'll look at this, you'll go, wow, Joshua Grace, he looks like he's been a superstar. He was, just not for us. I signed him from London Lions, who were doing quite well, and then the reason I didn't really play him was the reason I didn't really play him, because he doesn't look to be that good. I just thought we'll take him away from London Lions. I mean, that was a success. They did get promoted. Brig with a side to go up. So if you're a local to Brig, then congratulations to Brig Town. They have been promoted out of the Southwest Peninsula League Premier East. So we continue our journey to Tier 10. Hopefully we get out at some point. I've had a couple of board meetings. They're happy for me to continue in the role, although they're not too happy about my wage expenditure, which is it's over. I think that's the phrase I would use for you. It's over what it should be. And player-wise, it's tricky because, of course, we're in the lower leagues. There's a lot of turnaround in terms of players. So while I can't really yet at this point talk about players that are continuing with me, players that have left, the big one was Elvis, who was here last year and for the majority of the season that we've just had before leaving right at the very end of the season. It wasn't particularly good. So what was the story of our season? That might be the question that you're asking. How did it go down? And if you want to try and catch up and follow the stream along, you can, of course, on twitch.tv/DoctorBenjy. There's all the VODs available there for you to watch if that's what you'd like to do. So let's take a look here. Then we'll scroll up. It all started. Well, it started with a defeat, but it started quite brightly. We were playing some decent football, but we were struggling to find consistency until we sort of got to the November, January period, where suddenly we were losing far less. You look at the league games that we had, a few cup games in there as well, and it was all going quite well. Before 3 back-to-back defeats saw us go on a torrid little run, and that was sort of the demise of our season, which wasn't particularly good. So this period here, pretty good, and then that 3 defeats in a row, and that was the start of a save. I played 9 games on stream at the back end of the season, and I believe that's 8 games, Ben. These 9 games, that was 1 stream at the right at the end. So spoilers if you want to watch what happened in it, but that's what happened in it. We got 2 wins from our last few games, despite being in an incredibly strong position. Our past positions graph is quite embarrassing when you look at it. We built it up after struggling a little bit early season, but then, like I said, we built up and built up and built up, and eventually dropped down to 5th position. I thought the board would sack me, and my contract still hasn't been renewed. So season 3 of this will hopefully still be with Great Yarmouth, but the tier 10 to the top save may well change clubs if I have a meeting that doesn't go particularly well. And hopefully, again, I change to a more localised team to play against. The finances of the club are pretty good. 87,000 for this level of football is actually rather good. It falls really on the friendlies that we had early season. We'll be trying to schedule a few more big ones in so we can make money early on and don't have to worry about the finances of the club too much. Of course, playing ourselves against Norwich and the local big sides, as well as some championship teams if they're interested, really does help out with the wage budgets. And basically running of the club. Like, you don't go into debt. Otherwise, you do go into debt and it's a problem. So to keep the save afloat, really, it's a really good technique of making money in these lower divisions. And expenditure this year, because we've been travelling a lot more, I'm actually interested to see our travel costs this year, nearly 18,000, 6,000 more than they were a previous year. And you can see if we didn't have that money in from those friendlies, it would be a real bother. If we look at the income, you'll see it here on this season. The major money made then was from those gate receipts really early on, those match day incomes as well. TV revenue was from the cup competition that we did called the Bottle Job very early on in the season, where we didn't do particularly well. We'll have to do the Bottle Job again. We had Barnsley and Charlton in the 3rd place. I don't know who got to the final of the Bottle Job trophy. It didn't go very well. Is there a way to find out? Yeah, here we are. Look, who won that? I can't remember now. So Barnsley did win it 3-0 over Birmingham. So it was me and a few championship teams. Leeds only beat us 2-0, so they should be ashamed of themselves, if anything. But yeah, so it was a really good way of getting in some money, and I didn't realise it was televised. I don't know who's got the rights for that, but I guess we'll take it, and it's not been too bad. My streaming numbers have been a little bit infrequent. I say numbers, my numbers of times streaming have been a bit infrequent. I had a few personal things go on, a few illnesses here and there that have prevented me from doing it. But yeah, we're back in action now. So that's why this video is coming out, really, because over the next few days and weeks, I'll be streaming far more regularly again as we try and drive forward to future glory. In terms of personnel, because you never know, some of these boys might stay with us. George Purcell was brought in, the 33-year-old, very good technical striker for his age. Not the quickest, but finishing of 14. First touch was decent. Free kick taking technique, got a hatful of free kicks for us this season. 16 and 23 is pretty good, but have had a few injuries here and there, so that was a big issue for us. And the rest of the boys, George Brown now, one of the only players that we've had now for back-to-back years, and has been a stalwart of our side, and I'll definitely want to try and keep around. Some of those mentals are really, really good. You look at where the Blues and the Greens are, the attributes for this level are decent, especially that marking and tackling. 13 and 12, it's hard to find players of that standard. Ability-wise, Jake Peck is top of the pecking order, and you can see again, physically, he's got some really good standout attributes, but then stamina and strength and some of the ones that you'd kind of want in there aren't so good. 5'4" as well, so he does get out-muscled quite a lot in midfield, despite having some quite good technique with 13 passing and 12 vision. Yeah, so going forward, we'll of course try and get promoted next year. We're getting, I want to say closer, but we're not. We're actually getting further away the further this goes on. The team are happy that the staff have improved, squad-wise and staff-wise, for those that are interested. It's not looking great in terms of personnel. We've got a few people here. That's not Billy Sharp. A few of you might wonder it's spelled differently as well. And Alan Innes has just come in as our new assistant manager. He's good at motivating. That's the key reason to bring him in. So this is where a lot of our money goes as well, because these are consistent wages. I'm probably on the, well, I am definitely on the biggest wage. If you look at the rest of the team, might be something that's interesting for you in terms of contracts. Only one player is on a major contract, and Joe O'Hare is on a smaller contract. There's £50 a week. That's because he's also a coach. Rob Budd, who's been brought in. We lost Elvis, so my reaction to that was just bring in 4 goalkeepers, Ben. One of them's bound to be good, and Michael Duggan, who's got one of the best profile pictures you'll ever see on a Football Manager save, is our main guy. So again, some of these players will definitely stay with us. Some of them will have to move on. You look at the ability. I'm thinking maybe we'll just cut out a lot of these guys. Well, potential is probably a better way to do it. A lot of these guys, up to maybe Jack Evans, we're probably going to have to move on. Oh, the story as well. Fitzmagic, if you've seen previous streams or maybe you watched the last video, you know that Fitzmagic stayed with us last season, right until the very end, left us, went to Burnham Ramblers, did nothing. I brought him in at the back end of the season to try and resurrect what was a terrible end to the season, as we've sort of got over already. And, well, it didn't happen. I'm sorry that you can't see the results there, the fixtures. I'm just going to move myself so you can maybe see what's going on. So they're the teams we played, and the teams that largely beat us, Ivybridge Town and Torridge Side. They should be ashamed of themselves. The fact we've not got promoted, I guess when we look at it, it's my fault, viewers. So if I'm honest with myself, I'm the problem. I just realised I've not turned the light on. It's right at the end of the video as well now. It's almost too late for this. Never mind. Okay, but there you are then. That's going to sum up, I think. These are just sort of short videos to keep you updated if you're trying to follow the save along. We've finished 5th. I don't know what division will be in next season. I'm hoping, again, we go to a more localised set of fixtures. It will just make things easier in terms of the travel. Yeah, lots of travel days. And especially, a lot of these guys have got full-time jobs, viewers. So the fact they have to be shipped out all over the shop is a disgrace, really. There was one moment right at the end of the stream that I'm going to share with you now. We've done a few clips before. I'm going to do one specifically where I get a little bit annoyed with Football Manager. And yeah, I'll bleep out some of the expletives, but you can imagine my tone. To set the scene, before I show you the clip, we score very, very late on to give us a chance in going into the final game of, I think, still getting promoted. Goal difference meant we couldn't. And yeah, it meant if Briggs scored, they would be promoted and it wouldn't matter. Well, Brig do score, and here's my reaction to that. I mean, go defensive. Right, Brig, King. No, it's been taken away from me, you Sports Interactive. I can't believe you horrible little. Sorry, that was an overreaction. That was an overreaction there. I've overreacted. So, that does bring us to the end then. If you've enjoyed this, apologies for my outburst, okay? Sometimes I do overreact. If you've enjoyed this and you are looking to see more, feel free to drop a like on this. It's not as important as some of the other videos, but it's still nice that you're showing your support. And yeah, let me know if you've got any questions about this save. There's a database link in the description as well. Shout out to the FM editor for putting that together. And yeah, again, twitch.tv/DoctorBenjy for loads more action. Follow me on Twitter, follow me on Twitch, and then you'll be notified over there as well. So that brings us to the end. If you've enjoyed it, I say, drop some love, and I'll see you very soon, hopefully on twitch.tv. I could be live right now. It's a mystery.